Swear I set an alarm, but none went off, or I slept through it.
Did you just punch like 600 into your calculator by mistake?
I don't know, man. Actually, I didn't even investigate because I woke up. It's like, oh no, it's 9 a.m. Oh, weird. It set it for tomorrow.
Ah, did you set it after midnight?
I did. Because I was irresponsible and stayed up way too late.
Listen, what else are you going to do when democracy is falling down all around you? Other than stay up late and overindulge.
Doom scroll?
Yeah, you're going to doom scroll, and then you're going to be like, well, the world's ending, so I'm going to do what I want. And then you're playing Super Nintendo until 1 in the morning.
Is that your night?
What? No, I went to bed at like 11 last night.
You're like, no, I was responsible.
I was busy yesterday. I went and got my knives sharpened, which is a funny thing to say.
Oh, that's cool.
But they needed it, and so I came home, and the first thing I did is I pulled it out of like the little paper sleeve they gave us for it, and I pulled out cherry tomatoes, and I was making really tiny slices of the cherry tomatoes. Oh my god,
that's so good!
It's like butter. I had 2 knives. I've got one that's the Santoku shape, so it's kind of like got that like curve at the end, and one that's straight across and has the curve on the bottom. It looks like almost like a rectangle. The rectangle one's not as sharp, and that's the one that's supposed to be for veggies too. So
send it back.
That's right. Same company. I bought them off Amazon, and they're not crazy. They're like $23 knives, but they're really good. Like I'm not gonna go buy a Wustall for like an $80 nice knife when these are perfect. They're freaking fantastic. I love them.
Nice. Yeah.
A big Saturday getting your knife sharpened.
Oh, I mean, my Saturday consisted of, let's see, I took down the Christmas lights because it's not Christmas anymore.
That's right.
But then it was actually kind of cool. I was like, Kim, while I'm up here, do we want to like do something with these? Because I could take down the Christmas lights and we just throw them in the shed, put them back up next year. And so I kind of created this like pattern outside on our patio. So it's kind of market light-esque. And we still have a strand of Christmas lights in the garage. But yeah, left a couple up. Now we have some ambiance.
Front porch ambiance.
Oh,
it's good. I did get my we put up this shelf. And so now I've got a shelf behind me, and I finally put up this poster of The Midnight, who's one of my favorite bands. So now I've got some background situation. We put up some other shelves on the other side of this window that you can just see barely the edge of. But my wife and I have said, well, now it feels like a complete room because we actually have stuff up on the walls, and it's not just empty space. She's got some cactuses and shells up there. The wife's getting really into plants.
I like plants.
Yeah, we got this guy right here.
Oh.
It's an orchid.
What'd you name him?
Paul. I think it's a female orchid, actually. But yeah, it's a full-on orchid, but it's not blooming its stems right now because orchids apparently need transition temperatures. They have to go from like cold to hot in order to bloom.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know.
Wow. So what are you going to do?
Oh, we're just going to leave that in here and he's just going to be a bunch of leaves. Hold on, my wife just screamed that they're pretty. She's mad at me for talking about the plants. Ah, she's here.
It's pretty.
It is pretty.
It's nice.
No, I agree.
Did you show them the pepperomia?
I have to show you the pepperoni.
Pepperomia.
Pepperomia.
Yeah, it's cute.
Oh, that's pretty.
This is our Hungry Howie's pizza plant. Pepperoni. Pepperonia?
Pepperomia.
Pepperomia with an M.
Extra pepperoni. Got it.
Come for the coating, stay for the wife barging in to correct my plant pronunciation. I love you.
I love you.
I won't talk about the plants anymore, I promise.
Right.
Gonna clip that for sure. Someone asked me about the sign that says Oscar Wilde and Out. Because yesterday I made a bunch of videos for my AP kids, so I had to make an English pun.
Nice. It's
You
like Bob's Burgers.
That's right.
It'll be themed to the episode.
Okay, oh no. Oh god. Oh, you can't even tell. Like lit, not lit.
Oh, it's got a
lit does look
backlight?
little
Yeah.
better. It does look a little better. And they're
For the
very
nighttime
loose in
streams.
here. For those night streams. We're getting on the night streams. Do you remember that episode of 30 Rock where Liz is eating a bunch of cheese and she says, working on my night cheese? And Jack like knocks on the door and she opens it. She's like, what do you want? I'm busy. He goes, I heard you singing night cheese. Yeah, I can change the message back there. The letters just slide out. It
That's
used
cool.
to say, make today tolerable. And the O was a poop emoji.
I mean, pooping once a day is good advice.
That is pretty... make today poopable. So... Yeah, man. So you took down your Christmas lights yesterday, but you kept some up for ambiance.
That's right.
That's a little bit of your day. Do you get to relax on the weekends, or do you find yourself doing a lot of stuff?
For me, I'd say most weekends I try to be productive. But then there's the occasional, like, I don't want to do anything today. Or it's just, I'm just going to basically melt into the couch. I'm gonna lay down on the couch, and I'm only really gonna get up to like answer the door because the Chipotle delivery showed up.
That's right, because food has arrived.
And yeah, I mean those days are definitely needed. But for the most part, yeah, I try to do something, and maybe there's like a house project. Oh, found our sink was leaking, so that's my house project today.
Okay.
I went to take the dog out for a walk, like 8 or 9 o'clock last night, and he ran out of poop bag, so I went to grab a new poop bag from underneath the kitchen sink, and like the poop bag was wet, and I was like, oh man.
No.
And so like I started pulling everything out from under the sink because we have it packed full of cleaning
Of
supplies,
course.
and
That's where you keep all the chemicals.
yeah, literally. And sure enough, there's a big water spot under the sink, so quickly I had to
Shut it
deduce
off.
what it is. And
Yeah.
we've got one of those sinks, and I don't love this kind of sink, but it's got, the kitchen sink has a faucet that doesn't pull out, it doesn't remove. But next to it, it has that like little mini faucet that pulls out, and you squeeze the handle.
Oh, the
And that
little
shoots out
sprayer.
water.
Yeah.
And I hate it because like every time I use it, I get soaked. Like, because it's this weird, it doesn't make sense because you have to have the water running through the real faucet.
Yeah.
And then you squeeze this thing. And I always forget that the water is still running when I let go of this. So like inevitably, like I'm like done with it, and I like go to place it back, but it's still spraying, and I just get wet, and that's the thing that's leaking. So I don't know. I think
You gotta get the faucet head that has like the sprayer. Like you can just pull the head down, and that's
Right.
oh. We have one that's got water shield technology. Oh,
what's a water shield?
oh, dude. Okay, so you know how normally you get like the sprayer and it's like high pressure, right? This one has like a super concentrated thin nozzle that just shoots a really concentrated stream that gets like everything off. But
That's cool.
because it's higher pressure, it'll splash everywhere. So what it does at the same time is it creates this dome of water around it so that the water it doesn't spray through the water. I'm telling you, man, it is absolutely
amazing.
it's I'm literally looking it up right now. This is not a paid advertisement, y'all.
Share your screen, PJ.
Oh, I'm
The
gonna.
world
This
needs
is-
to know about this.
The world needs to know. Hold on.
That sounds really cool. Yeah, I don't know if I will be. So I don't plan on replacing a faucet today. My goal is just to, um, basically fix the leak. Oh wow!
Yeah, dude. Ah, wait. Yeah. So
But,
like
but
when
we
it hits, it doesn't. Yeah, buddy.
wow. Okay, yeah, I'm sold. I mean, we've wanted a new faucet because we just moved into this house, and um, we've got a laundry list of to dos. But this was like replacing this faucet was always on it, but it was always like, I mean, we can live with the faucet.
Yeah, it's okay for
silly,
right now.
like-
Yeah, yeah.
Like we
telling
had bigger
you.
things to do. But now just move to the top of the priority list.
That's right. that little dome, man, it's amazing. And the single high power stream, really good. Like I've taken like a silicone spoon that I've been stirring spaghetti sauce with, and I'll spray it with the little concentrated stream, and you know that little kind of orange color that gets on silicone? Yeah, gone. Takes it all off. Curry, spaghetti sauce, lots of sticky stuff. I use that a lot. It's amazing.
Ooh, and couple that with I just watched this this YouTube video about how dishwashers work,
Ooh.
and I learned I've been doing way too much manual work because I basically clean the dish. Like I think
Yeah.
of I think of the dishwasher as a sterilization device.
Yep.
Like, so I would still take a sponge and soap it up, wipe it down before putting it in the dishwasher. Plus, I also don't want like food scraps in the dishwasher because
Right, yeah. Huge problem.
unless I'm going to run it right away, that food's going to be in there for a while, get like moldy and stinky. But
Yep.
yeah, watch this really cool video that explained how they work. Explained what like all the different cycles are, the pre-wash cycle in particular, and was just really impressed. Like, dishwashers do work.
We've come a long way, baby.
My takeaway, I turned to my wife after watching. I was like, I've been washing way too many dishes. like I can, like if it's got like a layer, like a thin layer of food film on it, put it in the dishwasher.
Yeah.
That's more than enough. Like
That's
even if
okay.
there's food on it, you could do it. Although I don't want like mold and stuff,
Yeah, exactly.
and it'd be harder on the filter. But yeah, what I learned was usually underneath the sink, most dishwashers are connected to the hot water line. And if you've ever run hot water in your kitchen sink, you know it doesn't immediately come out. It takes a minute for the hot water to warm up the pipes and make its way
Yeah.
out from your hot water heater. And the same thing happens in your dishwasher. So you should run your hot water in your sink, and once it gets warm, flip on the dishwasher so that it starts with hot water. And we've been using those, we'll call them dishwasher pods,
Oh, yeah.
whatever the Tide Pod equivalent to dishwasher detergent is. And we love them because they're convenient. You don't like have to like worry about making a mess and less chemicals under the sink.
Exactly.
But the dishwasher also has the little bucket for pre-wash,
Yeah.
and you should always fill that up because the way the pre-wash works is it brings in all the water and it basically does a cycle. Like
Yeah.
it sprays down your dishes. So you want that water to be hot. That's why you run the sink hot water first until the
Yeah.
sink hot water is hot. And that pre-wash, if you add detergent to it, can start washing your dishes.
Immediately.
Yeah. So like the idea behind the pre-wash is to get the majority of the food gunk off because the dishwasher is reusing the same amount of water the entire time. So the dishwasher isn't constantly flowing water through it as it's running for 2 hours. It fills itself up. It's got a little basin, so it fills up the basin for the pre-wash, and then that water just recycles. But it only runs for like 15-ish minutes because that's when most of the gunk is going to fall off your plates. And more gunk will fall off if you add detergent into the pre-wash
yeah.
bowl. And then it drains that water because that's like really dirty water.
Yeah.
And then it fills back up and that's when the little door opens to release
Yeah,
your
it just goes
detergent.
and it releases the Kraken.
Right. And then it fills back up with water, and that's when it mixes in the soapy water, and again, just reuses that same water for the next hour, 2 hours. So, yeah, we've got to buy some liquid detergent so we can take advantage of the pre-wash.
Yeah, absolutely. We have started putting vinegar in like the middle of the cycle. Like once it drains, we open the door and pour some vinegar in there and then start it again because the vinegar has kept our glasses from smelling like dog, which is a thing that apparently is very common. But we were like, because you go to drink water and you're like, this glass smells funny. So we had to figure out why that was happening.
Weird.
Yeah.
Have you ever cleaned out your dishwasher filter?
Yep. We've done all the things we were supposed to do, and then finally we were like, dog smell dishwasher, and people were like, use vinegar, and it's been fine ever since.
That's so weird. I don't know if I have experienced dog smell.
Well,
I think I have a dog, so I know.
Yeah, so maybe you just think it's Kirby the whole time.
I'm nose blind to it. All our friends who've come over the years have just been drinking dog water.
God, dude, just I don't want to say anything because they're our friends, but the glass smells like a dog.
Oh man. Whenever you come out to visit California, PJ, you gotta let me know.
I'll be like, hey, it's so good to see you. I'm glad I got this vaccine. It's so nice to finally see friends again. Give me your glasses. I gotta smell them.
You got any dog water?
You got any dog water? I want to smell it. I keep using the star. My wife teaches kids in China English online, and so she has a bunch of like props and stuff. And she left this out, so now I'm playing with it because I have ADD.
Well, speaking of kids in China,
Disney
what are we
Channel.
doing today, PJ?
What are we doing today? So I have designed and created this fantastic thing on Lunacy, which is the PC equivalent of a Mac program called Sketch. And this thing that I started sharing is hopefully how we're going to make the add a poem page look. It's just going to be instead of being a whole page like we can see up here, we want it to just be a pop-up. And I still want this menu button up here to just create a pop-up. So we have a lot to figure out.
I was gonna say
a lot to I figure honestly, like, dude, we can make that into a pop-up. That's probably the easy part, actually. When I think about it, let's put the star away because I can't type while you're watching the Disney Channel over here.
magic spells.
Yeah. So this is how we want it to look. We just created a bunch of boxes. We gave it some titles. So now we just need to find a way to make this look like the website. So we need to start coding today. But that is the hard part.
Oh, man. So we're diving straight into what I assume is mostly HTML, CSS today.
Yep. I would bet
all the stuff we're great at.
Yeah. I would say I'm a CSS expert, if anything. That's a lie. I can't even.
A CS spurt.
I literally have done CS spurt. Sounds like I'm trying to say siesta. Yeah, I have not done a lot of CSS. All right, so I'm going to fully share my entire screen now so we can move between windows because that's what we're going to need to do. And I've got my code here. That's actually the CSS for the site. I've got my server just in case we need to run. I've got GitHub ready to go. And I've got Lunacy.
What else do you need?
Yeah. We would love a plugin that would take this design and turn it into code for us.
Oh, yeah. Does anybody know if there's a Sketch plugin that just turns your UX, UI into HTML?
Because we
CSS?
looked at the plugins available, and there's one available for Sketch. You know what, Brandon? Do you have Sketch?
I do.
I can open this file. I can send this to you, and you can use the Sketch plugin because Lunacy doesn't support certain types of plugins that Sketch does. So I'm gonna save as.
Send it over the wire.
Heck yeah, it's already a sketch file. All right, I'm gonna stop sharing my screen.
Did you commit? You committed this to GitHub, right?
It should be on GitHub.
Yeah. Let me clone this on GitHub.
Oh, this is my first clone. Oh my gosh. Yeah, there's an artwork folder on there. Holy smokes. This got a lot easier. I can't believe I'm just thinking about this, by the way. Like, it feels... It feels silly. All right. Witch! Welcome back, Witch.
What?
I always want to say your name like... Whipcha!
Oh, Whipsh.
It's like whip with the sound of a whip afterward. Whipcha!
I was in... I'm trying to download this and get SketchUp, but I wasn't paying attention to the stream. I'm like, why is he talking about witches?
Witches!
Oh, no. I have to leave the stream and come back because I have to give Microsoft Edge permission to share my screen. I'll be right back.
All right, and I'll just be here entertaining y'all. So,
bye, everybody. See you next week.
Yeah, that's right. He'll be back next week. It's just me now. This is a much harder stream. This is like I used to do it alone. How do you think I feel? Betrayed? Bewildered? So what he's doing is I have this program, and it's called Lunacy. It's the PC version of Sketch. Sketch offers a bunch of plugins where what you create in Sketch can be... and let me see. Oh, so quick. I was trying to explain things, and I didn't have to. Welcome back. So there's my GitHub. There's that water spray shield spray technology. Let's see that.
All right. Can you see my screen, PJ?
Yes.
All right. So, what do I do?
We need to get the plugin for Sketch.
Do you remember what it was called?
I'll do some Googling. Sketch plugin to generate HTML. How to build a Sketch plugin? No, Sketch plugins.
Export plugin.
It's called export plugin.
Maybe this one's called Sketch HTML export, and it says Sketch plugin to export artboards to HTML and CSS.
Okay.
Well, don't mind if I do. We might have to play around with this. I'm not sure. I might remove this background from the artboard, but let's
Yeah, because we only really want that. This is very exciting. When I realized, I was like as I was saying it, it makes Sketch files, but it can't use all the plugins. I was like, wait a minute, it makes Sketch files. I know someone who has Sketch.
And he just so happens to be on the stream right now.
That's right. And he's wearing what looks to be a Houston Oilers hat.
Oh, this is a brewery in Napa.
I
should probably know the name so I could shout it out, but
that's right.
I forgot it.
They can sponsor us, man.
It's their brewery right around the corner, and it's really cool. This is the Napa water tower. Is
that like an icon there?
Yeah, it's kind of like the iconic Napa.
It's like the Epcot
landmark.
Ball,
right? And
the Epcot Ball.
Let's see what this looks like. Nothing. Let's see what the code looks like. But yeah, actually, I found this hat, which is a weird thing to say.
Like you found it?
Yeah, I was walking the dog, and there's this cool thing in Napa County called the Napa Vine Trail, and it's this paved bike trail that goes from almost exactly where I'm at in Napa, downtown Napa, to right now it goes up to the next town up, Yountville. Eventually it's supposed to go all the way up to St. Helena and Calistoga, which are the next two towns north of here. And And yeah, since it's right around the corner from us, that's where I'll just take the dog on a walk because we can go do like a 5 mile walk and it's all just paved trails and
Nice.
yeah, super easy.
Is
Instead
there
of
a
having
lot
to
of
like,
elevation change, or does it stay? Because you're in the valley, right?
yeah. So the vine trail itself is flat because it's basically running through the center of the valley, but there are just amazing hiking trails around here because you got mountains on either side. So I don't know if you can see this HTML right here, but I'm gonna say that it didn't do what we wanted it to do.
Go ahead and. That's so funny. Yeah, that's interesting.
And
That doesn't have nearly enough going on.
whoops, let's do that. Do that. I was just gonna see like, did I miss something? So select the layers you wish to include. Oh, I didn't select any layers. Go figure why nothing was included.
That makes sense.
And that means
Ah, aha!
how did you design this?
It's all laying on top of that.
You made a group for one thing called new group. So let's call this pop up. And let's see. So author. This goes in the pop up.
That's weird. I have no idea how.
I don't see where that rectangle is. Oh,
It's not the shadow, is it?
I hit it and it doesn't look like anything changes.
Yeah. Maybe we can get rid of it. Yeah. There might have been a few times where I accidentally like double layered it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So that's your submit button. Okay. So yeah, move this all into this pop-up layer.
Pop-up layer.
Group. Pop-up video.
Loved pop-up video. Still do. Pop-up video was really good at... Just shot water all over myself. Pop-up video was really good at callbacks. They'd make some joke in like the first pop-up, and then the very last one is like a reference back to that first joke. I forgot how to drink water momentarily. I had a drinking problem there for a second.
And if you weren't alive in the 90s, there's a show on VH1 back when VH1 or shows back when channels like VH1 and MTV actually like played music videos.
Yeah, as their main form of entertainment.
And yeah, it was really cool. You'd be watching the video and it would basically give you fun facts about the video as you're watching it. I just noticed something looks a lot different.
There we go.
Whoops. Yeah. All right. Let's do some cleanup. So I only need this. Boom.
Get out of there.
Oh, I hate it when my downloads folder gets too cluttered because in cases like this where I need to find something in it, you can't find anything in it. All right, so that. Man, why'd they disappear again? You're here. And then I move you into this folder.
Is it going underneath a layer? Because
it is going underneath the layer. Yep. Because the order is the layering. So
okay.
New poem. Let's see. So this rectangle just needs to be at the bottom. Boop.
Ta-da!
A new poem is being hidden by something else too.
There used to be a rectangle there on new poem. Like there's a separate shape rectangle under it, I think. It might be the first one. So just rectangle, no number on the bottom. Put that above new poem.
One sec. Let me. Okay, so new poem's there. Rectangle at the bottom. There we go. Okay.
Okay.
Now I can click on this, and I can say...
Guys, we did
it. We maybe did a thing.
Yeah.
Artboard.
Artboard, do it.
Still looks like nothing.
All right.
I swear I just read the instructions. It said, select the artboard or any layer, then select the menu item plugins. I don't know how much better I can select it.
You don't have to select it like on the artboard itself, do you?
Let's try this. Let's hide this background. Actually, we should probably group it. I'll just call it background for now.
Sure. Sure. Yeah.
And then, yeah, let's see if I select the artboard. Plugins, export.
You don't need to do it as an SVG or anything. I don't know what they were saying there. Like, it was like, how do you want to export it?
Yeah, that was just for the images. Like it captured
okay.
no images.
Oh, this is so tricky. We thought we had fixed everything. We thought we had solved it. That is a common theme on this show. All right, we got it. Oh no, we broke it.
It could also be a thing where like it hasn't been updated in December. Yeah, it's been out for a year.
Yeah.
So it is possible that I have to mark it for export.
Ah.
Now let's try this.
Fools that we are. We didn't read the instructions. Hey, your documentation sucks. And then we read the documentation. We're like, oh, never mind.
I still describe that like
It should be easy. You shouldn't have to look at the documentation.
whoop.
Woo! Fancy.
Yeah, basically that. If you have to read the documentation, something's broken. Like, what should have happened? This plugin should have alerted me that said like no export found. Should you have selected something for export?
You're a big proponent of making it like plug and play, like literally plug and play. Do it. You don't have to look at instructions. That's very 90s male figure in a sitcom of you. I am looking at it. I'm not looking at it.
It's just making good software or good
That
UX.
too.
Speaking of
Good
UX,
UX.
but
How's your
yeah,
UX?
that's always my thing. I'm like, if you have to read the instructions, it's broken. Like unless you're like following a tutorial or something where you're learning, then obviously you'll want to read the instructions. Trying to think what's the best way to send this back to you.
Can you turn it into like a gist or something?
Do you have... So we usually chat on WhatsApp. Do you have that installed on your PC?
I have WhatsApp Web,
Okay.
so I can
let's see if
easily
this works
access
then.
it. Yeah.
Let's zip it up. I'll stop sharing my screen
That's right.
so that we don't
Y'all
give away
can't-
PJ's secret WhatsApp info.
That's right. It's very secret. It's definitely not posted on the internet. Budding.
It's set.
Bam. I want to open archive zip. Oh man. All right. So I've got index Microsoft Edge HTML document. Rad. I can see it. Let's export that.
Yeah.
Extract.
Enhance.
Enhance. Let's do that. We'll extract that to your new favorite poem. Let's see. Visual Studio Solution. If I open it,
So what we'll probably have to do is tweak the HTML a bit, because I noticed
I was
it kept
anticipating that.
the entire background, but if nothing else, we'll get a good starting point.
Now I've got this. It says HTML document. Oh, wild.
If you share your screen, we can all follow along.
Oh, yeah, no, that's true. So, it still gave me some not amazing code. It showed it correctly, but this is what it gave me.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Let me make sure I didn't mess up anything in the...
And that's the index that I got. Now,
Okay.
the CSS
Oh, is it
is
like
at
all
least...
CSS?
It
It's
might
all
be mostly...
CSS.
Yeah. So I need to copy that. I'm going to paste it into my site CSS. And...
Wow. That doesn't make me
This.
nervous at all.
Right? Right? And let's see. The add poet page, I think I'm just going to like comment it out and just put this in there and see what happens. And I have seen some amazing things. I've seen amazing people on Twitter and in the tech world who are like, check out this thing I made with just CSS. However,
That's us now.
I know for a fact, rather I am 94% sure that this will not function the way we want it to, but it might look the way we want it to.
Well, I think you have to get rid of head and the head tag and the HTML tags.
I think
Head's included automatically, and that CSS file that's referenced in the head doesn't exist. Oh,
That's
wait.
true.
Oh, you added that to the project?
styles.css. Oh yeah.
Wait, did you bring these files into your project, or did you just copy paste?
I brought them into the
coding.
project.
Oh, I would have only done the latter.
Copied and pasted.
Let's see what it looks like right now.
It's blank.
Nothing.
Yep. It's blank. That's an old one. Alright.
Yeah, because we need to build out that form so that we can process the data. So having everything in HTML won't really help us. Or, I'm sorry, having everything in CSS doesn't really help us.
I really want to see it look like it, like a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, try it again after removing those tags.
And so yeah, got rid of the tags. It's just body now. Let's see what happens.
Just about.
No one knows. Da, 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 da. Nada. Meh. It's worth a shot. Okay.
Cheaters never win.
That's right. Look what we've done to ourselves.
It's a life lesson for the kids.
Oh, there we go. And let's get rid of all that CSS. Started with skab.
Oh, that's not too bad, huh? I mean, it's
Yeah.
some nasty looking CSS. I have no idea what any of that meant.
A lot of them were media instructions, which is like, hey, if it's this size, do this. If it's this size, do this, etc., etc. And that's how CSS adjusts based on like the size of your screen. And that's why
nice.
if you're looking at like let's say you're looking at like Twitter. Twitter changes what it's doing based on the size of your screen too, right? So that's all media instructions. So, yep. Okay, so I can get rid of that CSS file. I can get rid of the index, that, and that. Because that's all stuff that was added. Nope, not that, I guess.
Artwork is where your sketch file is.
Oh, that's right.
Images.
Anything that was, there it is. 1/10/2021 I can get rid of.
Yep. Good call. 2021.
That's right. We're here. We made it. I would like to point out that apparently July 10th, exactly 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1. 6 months ago is when I made the git ignore for this, for the website.
Oh, cool.
And I remember you doing that. You were like, so you can do this thing called a git ignore, and then the stuff you don't want uploaded doesn't get uploaded. I was like, neato.
Yeah, git ignores are great.
Git ignores are very...
Once you make one, or at least after I made one that worked, I've basically copy and pasted that same git ignore to all my projects over the years.
Yeah.
And then like maybe there's a new project that has some new data that gets generated in compile time.
Yeah.
And then you'll just add in that file type and you're like, ignore this too. And so
ignore me.
It snowballs over the years, yeah.
All right.
All right, man. Well, let's write some code.
Man. Yeah. So, just realized that like my brain just shut down a little bit when I realized that not only do we need to change like the add poet like HTML, we're gonna have to change all the logic behind it too.
Yeah, the logic should be the same.
All right.
It's still validating the same text fields.
So
I would say let's start with trying to figure out how to make a
pop-up.
I don't want to say pop-up because that feels like an error pop-up. I think this is a term in the web world, but at least in the mobile world, type in modal page, ASP.NET Core. Because in the modal world, anytime you ever tapped a button on a mobile app and like the page pops up from the bottom, instead of like sliding in from the side.
Okay,
yeah, we call that a modal page.
Okay.
And I'm not sure if this is like an industry-wide term or just a mobile thing, but to me, that's exactly what we're doing. So if we can find some code like this that shows how to do a modal page, then we'll be sitting pretty.
That's all right. All right. Lots of videos. Let's just click a video and see if we can get what we need out of it.
Yeah. Or even if it looks like what we want. Because my question is still, what does modal look like on the web?
Yeah.
Can you fast forward to like the end result? Oh. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much what we want.
All right, cool. So modal is a thing. Modal's a thing.
Modal is a thing. And now let's look at what they're doing. They've made a class, a button, lots of divs, like div after div after div after div.
Woo. Is this something we have to do manually?
I mean, I hope not.
Yeah,
right? That would suck.
I was hoping too that like ASP.NET just has like a modal feature.
How to make a pop-up modal in ASP.NET Core 3.1. That's what we're on, right?
That's exactly what we're on.
Perfect. Okay. embed the following CSS and JavaScript into your project, which I think those should already be doing that. And also it's going to have us using Bootstrap, apparently. Create a modal.cs partial view in shared folder. I wonder if Bootstrap already has like modal stuff in it.
Oh,
I would bet good money it does.
It sounds very, very on brand for Bootstrap.
Yeah. And where do we find Bootstrap? We find it in here. This is what confuses me about Bootstrap. It's like 18 files deep, and there's like 3 files for Bootstrap.
Got to strap on those boots.
Always. Yeah, there's modal
cool.
information in Bootstrap.
Oh, right. Working smarter, not harder.
So I should be able to tag these things, and it should work. That's good.
Of course.
Of course you should.
There's no way anything could go wrong.
Of course you never. Front end in a nutshell. Someone said, not so smart contract. Front end in a nutshell. Div after div after div after div.
Right?
Okay, create an index.cshtml page where you create an add button for clicking to pop up. So we already have that in the header, right? In the navigation header. Right. So we'll just need to turn that into the modal button, really.
Well, I think this code, like lines 6 through 9 or 6 through 10, my hunch is that'll go in that underscore layout folder file.
That's what I'm thinking too. User controller.cs. Now we're getting into Brandon's territory here.
Yeah, this is different because we're not using controllers. We're using page models. So this is older, well, a different way of doing things.
Yeah.
They're doing MVC, and we're doing Razor pages.
Okay. So I should do ASP.NET Core Razor pages. I mean, this seems to function the same way as the
page
model.
We don't need any of that. That has nothing to do with what we're trying to do.
Okay.
We just need a page to appear modally. Okay. And so I think part of that's going to be the HTML that we were just looking at above that we'll put in the layout folder. And then the rest of that will be this HTML here. So we don't need any C# code to do this stuff. So it doesn't really matter that they did it with MVC instead of Razor because that mostly just impacts like how you write your C# code.
Oof. I am very overwhelmed right now.
Yeah, this is a lot more complex than I expected.
We were hoping.
Because, not to brag, but on mobile, there's two options. Like when you click a button, if you want to navigate to the next page, you just either tell it to navigate normally, or you tell it to navigate modally.
Now,
and then you're done. So that's what I was really hoping for.
What if we went a little more simple and didn't do it as a modal pop-up and instead just made it, gave it that new morphism div and make it look like it'll still be in the center of the screen. It'll look exactly like it does in Lunacy, but it just won't actually be a pop-up. So we just make this like a new morphic thing here. And sort of cheat it. It'll still be the page.
Right.
I'd love to be able to make a pop-up, however.
So this will come in, it depends what you want. So in this sketch, you've dimmed the background, including the title bar. I think it'll be easier to do this if you don't actually dim that title bar. The other thing to keep in mind is this will need to be responsive because this is centered in the screen. And so you don't want somebody to have to scroll to the right to find this. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like if they have a smaller window, it should appear in the window. But yeah, no, it's definitely an option.
All right. Well, I did take a responsive web design course on Codecademy, and I have forgotten all of it.
you're an expert.
But yeah, that's right. I took one course. It took me an hour to get through, and I know it all for sure, and I don't have to relook it up at all.
Great.
Let's build.
Should have led with that at the top of the show, PJ.
Yeah, come on, PJ. Dang. All right, so let's build this then. Let's get these things inside of a div. So let's start there. Form method post. Let's put all of this in a div.
Div it
Let's
up.
make the class. Wow, I'm crushing it. I put a comma first. Class equals. Let me see. I'm just gonna call it like morph div. Okay, and we're gonna enclose this whole dang thing in that div.
What was that last part? Is that the submit button?
This is that's the underneath it that says thanks for submitting. Guess we're gonna want
we
that
didn't
in there
sketch that
too.
out.
We didn't
Where's
sketch
that
that out at all. I mean, do we want it still? We want the message still. My hope, honestly, is to have the submit button become the thanks. Is there, like you click submit and it goes thank you, and it becomes an inactive button afterward.
Yeah, say if you could disappear the button.
Yeah.
So like the button fades out and the text fades in kind of thing.
Oh, fades out.
Yeah, you know. You got this.
Yeah, I can do it, obviously.
Just pick lightsaber noises.
You seen the two, there's two like sousaphone players holding lightsabers going It's really good. It's really good stuff.
Genius.
Alright. So this is all a div now. We need the form to stay the same, which our form is good. It's all going to the right place. We just need the label for the form on top.
Yeah, what does it look like right now? Do we still have text next to
it's
on the side of the boxes?
Yeah, it's to the left.
Oh, okay.
And
So-
there's got to be a way to.
Yeah, I mean, look how it's written right now. So you have a section, and then it says label text area.
Yeah.
So we just don't want the label in the same section. Like we want them stacked on top of each other. So like if you were to move, for example, line 30 to... If you swapped line 30 and 29, that should put the bio label above the text box.
I'm
Right.
gonna double check because I think there's a specific way to like tell the label where you want it to be, other than just like the HTML ordering.
Oh, fancy.
I think. So I'd like to make the input and a display block and split the name and label input. And Yep.
Oh, that's cool. If you write HTML and CSS, you can just run it there in the browser in Stack Overflow.
That's pretty rad,
I'm
right?
jealous.
Did you? Oh, was that not normal? Did you not know that?
Well, I never write HTML.
That's true.
So yeah, anytime I'm hunting for code, it's always in C#. And then
Oh,
you have to
good.
like bring it into your app and see if it works.
In case you were wondering what the subject of the stuff that I send my students is, or what my emails are, that's great.
They're out there forever now.
Yep. So it goes. All right. Well, that's annoying.
Send your funny gifs.
All right. So form, div style, float left, margin right. So this, yeah, this makes it happen. Let's see here. Div style and section and div function the same way. I prefer section. I don't like divs. But I'm going to change up here too. That's semantic HTML, baby.
Whew. Yeah. Take that, not so smart contract.
Wait, don't take that.
Section after section after section.
Section after section after section. Type, text, value, we're not worried about, so why is it there? Name equals author name. And of course ID equals, nope, not disabled. ID.
You already have ID.
I do? Oh. Like you do. ID author name. Type text name, author name, ID, author name, 4.
Which one of those values is passed to the C# code?
It should be it uses the ID, I'm pretty sure. Or maybe it's 4. Here, let's look at the C# code and see what we grab.
So author name, poem URL, poem name. And jump back to HTML. So
I think it's name.
I mean, name and ID is the same for all of these, but only one of those is the value that's getting past the C#.
I think it's
No.
name.
That didn't tell me anything.
Yeah, I think it's name. Or is it ID? I think. How does this work? Because you need both.
Well, what is ID in HTML and what is name in HTML?
ID is a method of, like, you use it in CSS is what I know.
Okay.
Like when you give something an ID, that's the highest level of something you can give in CSS to that's the most important classification for something.
Okay.
And ID,
so name is probably a ASP.NET thing.
That's what I think. Is name
Okay.
is for the form.
All right, I can roll with that. So
Yeah.
we'll keep. So the moral of the story was we don't want to mess with name,
Right.
or if we do move things around, we want to make sure that name still matches the parameters that we're passing into the method.
Right.
Otherwise, we'll break the code behind. Which is, it's annoying to me that ASP.NET does these as hard-coded strings, like, because you can reference your C# code here in the HTML.
Mm-hmm.
So
why not? Yeah. So why not
Yeah.
have like the at?
Like give me like a direct reference to this, but I also recognize that's easier said than done.
So why
wouldn't know how
not
to-
fix it? ASP.NET.
Come on, Microsoft. Claim to be smart engineers.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
Did we do it?
So it's still to the
What do we do?
left. It's still to the left here.
Stuck in the middle with you.
All right. So still it's float left.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
that makes sense because they're in the same section.
Section stuff. Label. I'm gonna take it out,
Dig it out.
and we're gonna see what happens. Nope,
Ah!
to the right now.
No, it's to the right.
Yeah.
What?
Again,
What?
I do think there's like a specific instruction I need to give it that says, "Hey, put the label on top." Let's
Right.
go back to this.
Put the lime in the coconut.
Yeah, and you drink them both together. Subject, message. So, I mean, it's
So he's
happening
got-
here.
Everything is one section.
Mm-hmm.
He's
Oh.
got line breaks.
I did take out value because I was like, that's not necessary. What if it was necessary?
I don't think so, because you already had value there, and it was already to the left.
I'm gonna do it anyway.
So there's no value add. Value add.
No, I get
'Cause
it.
it's
I'm
value?
with you. I'm with you. I hear you. Yeah, still to the left. It is weird that these are on the same line now. I don't like that, but I mean, I don't like anything about this right now, really.
Ship it.
Yep, and we're good. And that's the show, y'all. We've given up.
It's gonna be one of those days.
Looks like they're trying to do it with the CSS. If you are not styling the background and floating the inputs left, form background not included.
Oh, there you go. There's a div style that says display inline block. I don't know if you need the margin.
I'm gonna
but
grab it
definitely
because
that inline block.
it was in the other one too.
It could just be because the question had, like the original question could have been using a margin.
Mm-hmm.
Margin will just add 20 pixels of spacing to the left.
Yeah. Oh well, that kicked this down at least. I must not be searching for like the right thing that I want, because it's clearly possible. Because I did it in Lunacy. All right, let's go see. How to create a stacked form with CSS, vertically stacked, where inputs and labels are on top of each other. Aha.
Duh.
Use a form, just a regular old form, and then CSS. So looks like it's changing. Oh,
Inline block again.
yeah, I would bet that something in the CSS was messing with it. It's great advice for front end developers. Just straight up copy the whole thing and don't look at, just add it and run with it.
Well, all right.
Do what I wanted.
See you next week, PJ. Nailed it.
That's funny. This is the only one that didn't do it.
It actually doesn't look too bad either. That's probably
Yeah.
just missing a CSS tag.
Yeah, probably.
Like-
Or it's like mistyped or something, yeah.
I would say just increase the font size with this.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm calling that a win.
That is good. That is way better than what it used to
Oh,
be.
because it's a different text box for the last one. Because that's like a multi-line
Yeah.
submission. So I bet that has something to do with why I didn't ride the wave of the new CSS.
This is how long I need the biography to be for the author, please. Scrolling up, scrolling up, scrolling up, scrolling up. Scroll up, 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 scroll up. We're gonna get there. There it is.
Yeah. There's a 3,000 word minimum.
Yeah.
We'll pop up an error if you click submit
Yeah.
without finishing your biography.
This is, in fact, part of your final grade. Alright. So let's fix the tag in that one at least. Add poet. I'm going to get rid of this now because I recreated it already. I don't need the style anymore because I'm taking care of that in CSS. And down here. All right. Type text. Class. Text name. ID bio.
So my guess
because
is
it's the text area. Yeah.
like the CSS could be like copy and pasted for like my assumption right now is it's for input. Yeah. Just do that and change input to text area. Or if there's a way for CSS to inherit stuff, you should probably inherit.
Yeah. There.
Do you need that type equals text?
I'm gonna do it just in case.
That's different. That's type of.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just maybe that might be specific to input. Like if you flip back to the HTML, we can see that the labels, or so input type equals text.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, text area does have type equals text.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Cool. We'll see if that worked for that, and then we're just gonna increase the font size. Rad.
Right on.
Ta-da! Ship it. We do want to add up top, have the instructions up top in a larger text, so I'm going to make a div for that. Make that centered. I wonder what happens. Hey, when we go small.
Hey, and now it looks like a modal.
That's right. So what you have to do to make it look like a modal, y'all, is...
Step 1, shrink your browser size.
Yeah, do that for me, please. Thank you very much.
Reminds me of remember when the iPhone 4 came out and it had all those antenna problems because it was the first iPhone to put the antenna in
Hold
the
it
body
different.
of the phone. Yeah, like Tim Cook's response is just you're holding it wrong, or no, that was back when Steve Jobs was still around, right? Somebody responded from Apple, and so we'll just put a notice on the website that lets the user know that their browser is wrong.
Yep. Hey, are you using a full-size browser? You should make it smaller. Font size. I don't have a parent.
Is this going to increase the font size? So this CSS is for input.
Input, text
not for
area.
the label.
That includes because...
So I was thinking we would have to go on each label here and say like font size equals, font size equals, font size equals.
No, there's a way to do it. We just have to be like, if there's labels, it makes the font size bigger. I did pick font size large there. We'll see if it does it, because I think it's considered part of it, but I may be wrong. Dang it. Maybe it's just
But
this.
you got large font right here, though. Which actually, we probably needed to do that anyways.
Yeah, it needs to be big.
I want to be big.
Actually, hold on. Let me make sure. Because sometimes CSS changes get lost in the cache. You know me, I'm lost in the cache. Is it cache or cache?
Gosh.
So you weren't going to correct me. You were just going to let me look like an idiot on the internet there.
Yeah, you're an English teacher. It's, I had an English teacher in high school that said, you need to learn the rules so that you can break the rules.
That's right. That's actually like +1 to that for sure. I agree.
I'm trying to remember his name. Sorry, I can't shout you out, sir.
Sorry, sir.
He also might not still be alive. Yeah, maybe.
Aww. That's kind of sad when you think about if you had older teachers, like.
Oh yeah, I'm sure my calculus teacher is no longer around, and that's a shame because, man, that lady I think she was in her late 70s or early 80s, and one of the smartest people I've ever met. She knew calculus like the back of her hand, and really, I'd give her all the credit in the world into why I got through my college level calculus classes, because she taught us in high school basically how to visualize math, which is really cool.
That's really important. That's a really important part of higher level maths.
Yeah, because before then, like, it was just memorization. But with her, she was like, this is y equals x squared. Can you see what that looks like in your head? We're all like, what? No, we have to, like, run the equations and draw it on a graph. And she's like, no, no, no. X squared will always look like this. And you're like, huh?
What?
And if it's x squared plus 2, then it's just shifted up. Mm-hmm. Or I get, no, shifted down. No, Miss Potts.
I'm sorry!
I failed you. But, yeah, that was a really cool realization.
That's bigger, right? Or is it? Is it not?
I wasn't paying attention. I'm sorry. I was telling a story.
That's all good. I think this is bigger.
I think it's bigger.
Yeah.
Although, how big do we want it?
I mean, I'll tell you right now, it's certainly not larger, which is what I picked. But maybe this works differently.
Larger. Is that really a font size?
Yeah. So when you go to pick a font size, inherit, initial, large, larger, medium, small, smaller, unset, extra large, extra small.
Is large? So I assume larger is larger than large. But is it larger than extra large?
I would bet larger works in a way similar to like inherit, where it's like a weird specific instruction.
Oh.
But
It's almost like font size plus plus.
Yeah, let's do extra large. How about that?
I will say something I noticed that we should probably tweak is when you ran this last time with larger, the font size was bigger than the font in the title bar. And so I think we need to crank up that title bar font.
Oh, the navigation bar?
Yeah. Yes, yeah.
Oh, I like extra large. But yeah, this should be bigger, huh?
Yeah, it should look like a title.
Should also be left aligned. Why is it sitting in the middle? Like I want it over here.
Just hanging out, joining its friends.
I'm guessing it's a media setting I have where like everything's right in the middle.
It looks like it. Yeah, it looks like your website begins
here.
Right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like almost like that's a border.
Yeah. I'm still stoked that like random button does the right thing. It's pretty rad.
It does feel good.
Right? Okay. So let's exit that. Exit this. So that's the nav bar. That's going to be in layout. Well, actually, yeah, we will do that later. That's the size I want that to be, though, so that works for me. Now we need to add a whole new... we actually need to make that morph div into a neomorphism, which was one of the things we wanted to do. So that's a class, so dot morph div, right? Dot is a class. Yeah.
It's like, hopefully he's not asking me. Call on me, teacher.
I'm going to double check, but I think a dot is a class. How to reference class in CSS. It should be dot. Yep, dot. Okay.
Dot.
And where's that new morphism maker? Boom, boom. We need to get the right color. And we're going to pull that from post footer, body, HTML. That's the background color. And we'll plug that in to this. Yep.
It's morphin' time.
It's morphin' time. And we want it decently big. And we want the radius just a little rounded. That. And we want shadow that way. Wow, like that, right?
Yeah.
That's what we wanted?
Yeah, I think you nailed it.
And let's see how that works.
a great
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
site.
It's so good. It's so good.
Like the fact that you just visualize the CSS like that.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that person deserves a
They deserve an Emmy. Oh no.
best featured screenplay.
So we just
Well,
need to
it
add a
did
little
it.
bit of a yeah, it did it. We just need to add a little bit of a
padding?
border. What is that called? Is that padding?
Padding and margin are similar. So if like you have that big div,
Yeah.
you could add padding to that div and it'll push everything inside of the div
Yeah.
in.
So that's what we need to do. We certainly don't need these text boxes to be that long. And we need to add a title up top. Okay.
Ooh, what happens when you extend that box at the bottom? The biography box. Oh, cool. It goes
The
with it.
button moves with it. Or the new morphism moves with it.
That was my question. Yeah, if like
Yeah.
the text box would just spill over the border.
I feel like that would absolutely
No.
like, break it entirely, you know? Like, the internet just stops working. Don't do that.
Your browser's like, what? You told me to make the box bigger. And I did.
Come on, man.
Why can't be so
We can
square
add
all
the
time?
padding here. Because the whole, that div is called, that section's called morph div.
Totally.
So let's do... $10 pixel and $10 pixel. A little better.
Probably a little
Or
more.
10 pixels. Yeah, let's do 20.
And I would do some margin. I don't know if you noticed that light source on the top is bleeding into your navigation bar.
Okay. Let's make that 20 pixels as well, eh?
Yeah. Good round number.
Yeah, that number's divisible by a bunch of things, you know? 2, 4, 5.
10.
Oh, getting fancy. I still need more. But I'm comfortable with 20, I think, on this. I think I want to make... when we make these text boxes a little shorter, because they're so long right now, I think the button will decrease too, because this is a little wide. But yeah, we need to make the margin a little bigger.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's look and see what the shadow's got. All right. Looks like the shadow's working in the 50 range, so let's give it room.
Clever.
Add poet. Things are gonna get easier.
I almost wonder, can we just get rid of that light source? But like keep the shadow?
The light
'Cause
source
that-
is what makes the shadow.
Well, in the theory of neumorphism.
Oh,
In
like just get rid of the
CSS.
white?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because if you compare it to the sketch we have, we just have the shadow. We don't have the light.
Come on, you blasted machine. Work faster. Yeah.
Okay. We would
I
just
still
need-
like it. I think a little less blur, maybe?
It's missing a border. Like if we gave it a
Ah, yeah.
border, because right now like the top right corner blends in with the background.
Yeah.
It's interesting. There's a border radius, huh?
That's what makes it rounded, right?
Oh, yeah. Good call.
Border,
I think we use black in the sketch.
Yeah.
So pull up the sketch real quick. So that's probably what, a thick black border?
That's what I think it is. And that's why I typed solid thick.
Nice.
Let's see, border. Yeah.
And actually, we could get the exact pixels off the sketch. So that border is 2 pixels. 2 seems like it would be small, but we'll find out.
5 pixel solid, right? So let's do, yeah, 2 pixel solid black.
Very readable.
Very readable.
It's like you're just having a conversation with the CSS.
What I feel like,
You're like taking your order. Okay, and welcome to the CSS. How about I serve you today?
oh, I'd like 2 pixel solid black, please. Would you like to upgrade that to 3 pixels for 7 cents more? For 7 bytes more of memory?
That's
All right.
like, no, I'm on the free tier.
Yeah, I can't handle it.
I'm paying with coupons.
That's right. We are going to have to center this or make this a part of it and turn it into the button. There's got to be a way to to make the button this, right? Like custom submit button CSS.
Don't overthink it too much. You just would set visibility. So you would put a label underneath the button, and then when you need the button to be there, the button's visibility is true or hidden. I don't know what the web calls it. And then when the button's done, after they've clicked submit and we've successfully processed and ingested their submission, we'd set the visibility of the button to hidden.
Yeah, you're right. All right. Is it hand jam time? Just changing all of these titles and stuff and adding a label at the top?
I think so.
All right. Let's do the hand jam again. So we're going to make that a H1. And what did we have in the new poem? Stop running.
Now, something I just noticed is the sketch is a lot more square. It's a lot more boxy.
Yeah.
What do you... So,
we had rounded it a tiny bit.
I say let's put it this way. In the real world, our designer would give this to us, and we'd have to follow it to a T. In this world, we are the designers. So,
right.
I guess the question is, what do you want, PJ?
I don't know. I kind of like it the way it's looking right now. What I want to do is shorten it up first, get these looking correct, and make sure that that's. I want to get this all correct first, and then I'll worry. I know we've got the box, we can fix it now, but I want to wait and see how it looks in a second.
Gotcha.
Okay. So poem title, author, poem URL. Poem title, author, poem URL. And then author picture, picture description, author biography. Author picture, and biography. Fan-frastic. All right, so we've got new poem. We've got poem title, author, poem URL, picture URL, and what did we say for alt text? Was it picture description, and author biography. Author biography. Okay. And poem name, author is author name. We can get rid of that value now. Poem URL, picture URL, goes to picture description, picture alt text, biography, bio. And we need to decrease the size of the input text. So width is no longer 100%. Width gonna be, well, I think because...
What's it set to in your sketch?
Well, the problem is the percent takes it from the parent element, and the parent element for the input is this guy. So I'm wondering if changing that percentage does anything at all.
So right here, we can measure this and figure it out.
Okay.
So what it looks like to me is this has padding. So we should get the value of the padding on the left. And then we can measure the size of that box to figure out like what its percentage is. So long story short, all the answers are right here for you.
All right, I'm going to count these pixels real quick. 1.
You should
2.
be able to measure it.
3. 4.
There's
Yeah,
tools
what's the
for
measuring
this. I don't know, because I never used Lunacy.
Yeah.
So, I mean, one hack would be you could just draw a line and measure that line.
Or
But I feel like there's something like if you hold control and hover over, measure in the Navy.
How do you measure a navy? Show dimensions and
Oh.
distances from elements.
That's a deep question.
Clicking an element, holding Alt, and hovering over other elements, you can see the distances from that element.
Boom.
So we click this element. Oh, baby!
There you go. So, get them nice and centered.
Yep. $61 and it looks like 39, 51, 51. Yeah, so these are all 51 from each other, which is cool. 61 from the edge. So that's the padding we should have is 61 pixels.
So, quick recommendation, since you
Yeah.
you are the designer. Typically, best to use round numbers, and also best practice to use a multiple. So, for example, in my Git Trends app, everything's a multiple of 4. So your padding's always going to be 4, 12, 16, 20, and it just makes things, it lowers the cognitive load.
Yeah.
So there's nothing like 61, and then this margin over here is going to be 67.
Yeah.
And so my recommendation is basically round these off. Like instead of it being 61,
Yeah.
just tweak the design to make it 60.
Sure.
And then the spacings in between them, instead of making that 51, tweak that to be 50. And then your multiple could be...
I mean, we should start by
10.
making these round, right? Like the...
I mean, it's relative. So that's going to be relative to where the border is.
True.
But yeah, I guess in theory, if everything's a round number, then then it should produce round numbers.
It should produce round numbers. That's what you'd think, right?
But
Because
what I
also
would
the
do is
distance.
I would just stretch it out just a little bit to knock off that pixel. So like right now with this author text block highlighted, I would tap the up arrow once, and that would make it 50 instead of 51 in its relation to
Oh, in the Y. Okay. Got it.
And yeah, I would just drag it instead of manually entering in the numbers.
That's what I've been doing, right? Well,
You
now I
can
just did
manually
manual, but
entering
this
in the
one,
numbers.
like dragging.
No, like just drag the rectangle. So when you drag the rectangle,
Oh!
guidelines,
Okay.
you're basically just doing too much work that doesn't need
You
to be
sure?
done.
All right.
Because everything snaps to a grid.
Oh, it's very.
So-
it's actually. I'm trying to.
So go back to poem title
Poem
and
title.
select that box.
Yeah.
And then hold Alt while you drag the left side of this. So let's... dang, so it doesn't show you how far you are. Let go. Let's get a baseline. How far were we from the edge? So hover over with Alt. All right, so right now it's 74.
Uh-huh.
I think we were trying to make that 60. So let's make this a little bit wider.
Oh, Lord, I've not been a good listener. I see what you're saying. Hold on. Okay. There we
60.
go.
There you go. And then now what you can do, that width value is 426.
Mm-hmm.
Increase it to 428. And then you'll have 60 pixels of padding on the right side. So now you got nice round numbers there.
Yep.
Boom.
Okay.
And
So
then,
now this all needs to be 428. In order to make it 60 inches of padding, these all need to be 428.
and moved over. So like what I would do is I would just copy paste that first block and replace the other blocks. I think that would be the easiest, fastest. And so let's make sure author, yeah. So is author aligned properly? Yeah, 61.
There we go.
Nice. And then what's author spacing from poem title? Let's make that 50. So it's 49. So yeah, if you just tap the down arrow, it will give you another pixel.
Cool.
And then what's the spacing between the label and the box? So like poem title to the text box. Ooh.
I think it
I
should
would
be
make
a little.
that 4. Like,
I was thinking 5.
okay, yeah, 5 works. And then 5 becomes your multiple.
Yeah, so 5's... Okay, yeah, 5's the multiple then. There we go.
And something else to check. What's the spacing between author and the box above it? Because that'll have to be a multiple of 5 as well. Six. So yeah, bump up author a pixel. Then you'll have to bump up that box below it a pixel. And then you're good to go. Then you can start.
There we go.
copy
That's
pasting.
5, 50, 6, 7, 5, 6. Oh, hold on.
And this is why
5, 4.
you
How
should
is
never get upset at designers.
Yeah. Here.
Lots of intricacies to design.
5, 51, 51. And then author. So between this and author is 5.
Mhm.
Between author and this is 5. And between these is 49. So this needs to be. No. Hold on. What am I thinking? One bigger?
So drop your author text box down a pixel.
There we go. Yep, I dropped author down a pixel. The distance between author and the author text box is 5. Distance between these is 5.
There you go.
So author needs to be 40 pixels high. That's what does
Yeah,
it. Because
I mean-
if there's 5 pixels on either side and author's 40 pixels high.
So yes and no. That one's kind of weird because
Oh,
author.
the box.
You see the
box
text
needs to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're just looking
Okay.
at the. So I would just ignore that.
Okay. Okay.
So delete. So the problem is you brought in that box below, and then it gave you two things to snap to. If that box below didn't exist, then it would just basically
Oh.
snap it in place. Like it should, yeah, it should give everything relative.
Boom. I mean, real good at this.
Yeah, this would be nice. Though. It'll make all of our, again, just taking the guesswork out of the code. So it's not like, do I want my font to be larger? It's not like, what's the font in the mockup? Done. What's the margin in the mockup? Done.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Beep, bop, boop. That's the sound of making computers do things. Ah, I goofed.
Yeah, you moved what was already done.
Yeah.
I think you just needed to drop the author biography box down 5
Christ.
pixels.
There we go.
Nice.
There we go. Bam. Bam.
Uh,
How's that for funny?
yeah, I saw that too. Oh. Yeah, I don't know where that one's coming from, but Might be from the older thing,
It's so funny.
but they're relative to the one next to him, and that's
Yeah. Oh.
what matters. All right, so so circling back to the CSS. Now, I would say we could keep that width at 100%, and we can just change the padding of the div.
That's
So-
going to be this. So padding is now 60.
That was 50.
It's 60 on either side. It's 50 between them, but it's
Okay.
60 on either side.
Gotcha.
Yep. And now, I don't know if it's
So-
going to do what we want it to do.
I see well, we haven't finished doing the CSS yet. So like
Yeah.
the inputs have margin.
Go back.
So those are going to be left shifted a bit. I would pull out that margin. That's the only thing I see right now. I don't know what the border radius should be, or the font size, but let's see how it looks. So the spacing between stuff. So like
Yeah.
that spacing. But the left to right stuff looks good.
We need that centered. And we need the submit poem centered.
Getting closer.
Much closer. Much better. Much prettier. Alright. Let's get in here. How do you do inline style?
How to use CSS.
Yeah, how do you use it? Please tell me. Style equals display. Let me make sure I'm doing that right. Yep. Display center.
Yeah. Seems like a lot of letters to type just to center. In my mind, we should have just typed center.
And it didn't work anyway, so. But again, that's probably because I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah. 'Cause
Blind
I
leading
don't
the
know what I'm
blind.
doing. Yeah. How about we... Oh, it's because I put Seidel. There we go.
Apparently, Seidel doesn't do anything in CSS. Joke's on you, computer.
Display. Let's do inline flex. How about that?
Oh, what does that mean?
So inline is elements are displayed in line with each other, and if you do inline flex, flex is a type of there's like, Lord, that didn't work. Why are you doing this to me? What I want is for this thing to be
Center.
yeah. So flexbox is a method of CSS where it's yeah, so like the container and the items within the container are displayed a certain way. So display of flex type is like, hey, it's we want it to do this. And so you're controlling these individual things inside this larger thing. So maybe I don't need
Can we just
flex.
say text center?
Is it possible? Text align. Yes, I was overthinking it. Boop.
And as long as that H1 fills the whole row, then its text will be centered.
Which
We'll find
it
out in
should,
just a
because
second.
it's filling out that div. Yep, you're the smart one.
Boom. Whoa, what's... Oh. my cursor was on top of the title. It's like, why is there a giant cursor on your screen?
My God, what is that? PJ, you gotta fix
man.
it.
I am out of it. Yeah, fix my cursor on your webpage.
That's right. All right, so
So yeah, I see a couple things that still need tweaking, like the font size of new poem, the spacing between poem title and the text box,
yeah.
and then the spacing between that text box and the next label. So yeah, I think if we just
let's
adjust some
double-check that,
vertical
yeah.
spacing, then
Do.
so we should be able just to use margins and paddings.
That's what I'm thinking, but I want
I guess what I'm trying to say is this isn't really specific to labels and text boxes.
Yeah.
So just kind of critiquing your Google search. You're
It
overcomplicating it a bit. Just
Yeah, so
like
the
we just need to
label, we can change like the margin on the label, and then for the input as well, we can change because right now the padding on the input is padding all around it, right?
That's what I was wondering, because I was wondering if that's the padding from where the text appears inside of the box.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know.
Let's change it from, it was 12 pixels and 20 pixels. Let's change it to 5 pixels. And that's 5 pixels all around, which should do what we want it to do. And then the label, since it doesn't have anything added to it right now.
Let's confirm this first, yeah. So Caesar changed one thing and see what
Right.
is different than... I've made that mistake with like 2 things.
Looks like nothing's different.
Yeah, I mean, we're going from a 12 pixel to a 5 pixel padding. Click in the box and type some text. Because my thought was the padding might be how the text appears in the box. But I don't know. That's something I was wondering aloud.
Well, what if we inspect? What if we look? You know?
I see some familiar looking code.
Margin of 008, and that's top right bottom, or no, top. Maybe
There's only 3 values.
Yeah.
There's
So
a fourth
what?
value.
So the fourth value can be understood. I think it goes like normal. It's if you have 4 values, it's 4 values. It's top, right, bottom, left. If you have 2, it's top and bottom, left and right. And I think if it's 3, it's top, bottom, left and right. So I think left and right is 8 pixels there.
Really?
Yeah, something here. Let me look in here because if
I would
do,
assume
like,
that it's just it's assuming the 4th value to be 0. So it'd still be as if there's 4 values there.
Yeah, so yeah, top, right, bottom, left, and then First margin top, second to the right and left, third to the bottom. Okay.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. It's wild, right? I remember learning that and I was like, huh, and I had to do it. I was like, if there's only 2, it means this. If there's only 3, it means this.
Why?
If there's 1, it's all of it. What it is, it's I think like it's mega super duper crazy customizable, I guess. And technically if you want it this like you want the top and bottom different, but you want the left and right the same, it keeps you from typing 8 pixels again.
It feels like it's one of those, it's solving a problem that I don't have.
Maybe.
Because if I want the top and bottom to be the same and I want the left and right to be the same, then I can just put in the 2 values. Mm-hmm. But if I want a specific value for each thing, then I would just move to the 4 values. And yeah, maybe I say top is 10 and the bottom's 10. Is that really the... Somebody wanted this feature. It got added.
It was one person. Do it for me.
like, but what if we want top and bottom to be different and left and right to be the same? And they're like, Carl, just put the same values.
Listen, Carl.
He's like, no, I'm not gonna write 4 values every time. I'm be duplicating, like, duplicating the same value twice. That's ridiculous.
Dang it, Carl.
We should make an obscure rule that everybody's gonna have to memorize from here on out.
All right, so
that was cool. Mouse over because it shows you. So that's padding.
That's padding around it.
Okay, so padding is pushing the box. Wait.
Yeah, sorry. Padding is outside the box.
I don't know. Is it though? No. See, the box gets smaller when you hover over padding.
Oh.
So the padding is affecting where the text appears in the box.
Yes. So the margin needs to be what we're messing with because the margin's the outside of the box. Right now, there's no margin at all. But when we're looking at,
yeah, that's the thing. There's 2 things. There's the label and the text box. So one of them has to have it, and right now the label has a margin of 8 on the bottom.
Yep.
So if you just change that to 5, then we're good to go.
Cool. Now, where is that happening?
Scroll all the way down. Margin. Oh, that's the morph div.
I want to bet that it's happening in the bootstrap.
Scroll. Oh, wait. Oh, it's on the label. Dang it.
Right? Now, I might be able to override it here because I'm preferring this CSS.
Oh, sure. Yeah. But that's going to change every single label in your entire website.
Mm-hmm.
So...
I mean, like, what other labels do I have?
Everywhere. Everything's a label.
You're a label.
Every text that appears on the screen is a label. I mean, I would just create...
No, like literally the word label is only happening here.
What about on your index?
Labels are for forms?
Oh, those are just P's.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Oh, never mind. I thought label was the way you displayed text on the screen.
Hey, no, P is the way to display text. And really there's H1, H2 and all that other stuff. But yeah. Labels are specific to input forms.
Gotcha. Okay.
Hey, that's 5.
Oh, wow. Okay.
All right. That's looking way better.
And then the spacing between the box and the next
box
label.
And that's gonna be harder because because this is an element, this is an element, this is an element, this is an element, right? Mm-hmm. So what we have to do is increase the size of this guy. Like, in order for the spacing between the boxes to be... Come on, do what I want you to do.
I would do a bottom margin on that text box.
On this one?
Yeah.
That would push this down, too.
Exactly. Like, that label is too close to the text box. Like, if you look at your design side by side with this...
Okay, got it. Now I understand. Making my lonely dental floss. Brushing my lonely dental floss. Alright. So we need to take the label and we need... No, the input. And we need a margin on that.
Boom. Top right, bottom left.
But no commas. Turducken!
So
So I was singing that dental floss song earlier. Have you listened to Frank Zappa?
I mean, I'm familiar with Frank Zappa.
Oh yeah,
Like I've heard the name before. I couldn't tell you. I couldn't name a song.
he's got a song
I would recognize the music.
called Montana, and it's got this wild like intro and this crazy xylophone stuff going on in it. But the lyrics are, he's gonna move to Montana and raise crops of dental floss and sell it in little white boxes, and it's wild because it's Frank Zappa. But I love that song. I love it so much.
Fresh dental floss,
That's
organically harvested from the ground. So let's flip back to the sketch real quick. So what I'd like to do is, if you click on author, see all that extra space between the font and the text box?
Yeah.
Lower that. Get that as close to the text as possible. Yeah, nice. And then measure the distance between that and the text box above it. And that's your bottom padding.
Okay.
So, 21.
I'll make it 20.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. So,
Yep. Okay. Change the
I
padding.
think you just set it to 5 and just change that 5 to a 20.
Do what?
In the code you just wrote, you said bottom margin was 5 pixels.
Yeah.
I think if
boop.
you pop that to 20, then we're good.
And so
And
we're
just
good?
I think after that, then it's just fixing that submit button.
Hey. Ding, ding. And honestly, still, I want to shorten the input boxes themselves. They shouldn't be that wide.
Well, do you want to shrink the input boxes, or do you want to shrink this whole view? Because I think you want to shrink the whole view.
They're both... shrinking the boxes will shrink the button. Or will shrink, like, the new morphism thing. The whole thing will shrink when these shrink, because this is what's making it so big right now.
But I thought the text boxes were just at 100% width. So that's why I'm thinking you need to shrink that new morphic div.
We need to just tell it how wide we want the new morphic div to be.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Got it. Okay. In that case...
And then everything, because we've been using paddings and margins for everything inside of it, it should all just kind of...
What's the size?
On the
Over
right,
here is the size. Width 548, 935. I mean... we absolutely cannot hard code it in pixels. I got it. Because if we hard code it in pixels, when someone adjusts their screen size, it's going to look terrible.
Right.
Morph div, we want the padding, margin, And we want the...
Oh, yeah. Good idea. So we don't really care about the height. I think we only care about the width.
Right.
And I think we want a max width for sure.
There you go. That's what I want. Thank you. I couldn't think. I was like, and we want that to be... That can be a pixel, I think.
Okay.
Or maybe not.
Yeah, let's see what happens. Set that to 550 pixels. Because something I don't know what's going to happen is what's it look like when you shrink the browser.
Right.
Oh, look at that. Mm-hmm. Cool. And what happens when you shrink it? Or shrink the browser size? Like, make it really skinny. Oh, cool. Yeah, it still looks good.
Yeah, because we made it a max, we could give it a min that would let it go a little skinnier, but that's as skinny as my browser gets.
Yeah.
Cool. Just needs to be centered.
Can we just say that in CSS? Center. Do you have to say center though? Or is it inline? I guess what is inline block?
Inline block is... I feel like inline block was supposed to center stuff, but I think it's only... It allows things that are like several things in a row to be splayed right next to each other as opposed to up and down. Center align elements. Is it just a line? To horizontally block, use margin auto.
I don't think that's what we want.
No, center align text, center an image. Display, how about block instead of inline block? Because inline is like...
I still don't think it'll be centered.
I don't think so either, but I'm an idiot and I like trying stupid stuff like this.
My gut tells me we need the word center.
Maybe you're right, and maybe you're right. Center a div. So let's go back to this page that I just exited out of.
Skip it. Go to the next link.
You were not helpful. How to center anything with CSS. Stop that. Line a div text. Align a div. Oh, here's the problem. Alright.
So text align. We already figured that one out earlier.
Yeah, but that seems weird to do to... Yeah, that's like for text.
Yeah. Center a div.
CSS margin auto.
Huh. That's what it was saying on the other one. Alright.
But we need it... that's horizontal. We need it vertical too. Horizontal and vertical.
Do we have a margin for this div, this neomorphic CSS already?
There's a margin.
We do have a 50 pixel margin.
But...
Oh, you can do 50 pixels top and bottom, auto left and right.
Aha. There you go. Good grab. Thank you. Very smart, sir. Very smart. We did it. No, you are. You're smart. Whether it worked or not, you're my best friend. Hey!
That looks really good.
That looks really good. For comparison,
can you
for the people who are just joining us, I'd like you to see what we're going from.
It's true. Like the design experts right now, they're like, "Wow, they're celebrating over that." We're like,
The
yes.
first time I did some CSS, I posted about it, and you remember Pyrock, who came on our stream to help us one time? Yeah, he looked at it, he goes, eh. Bam. Boom. Bop-a-doo.
Way better, much cleaner.
Wow.
Like,
And then this is down here doing whatever.
Just don't scroll down. Don't scroll down.
Yeah, don't scroll down. Honestly, like we just need to from submit. We'll just change the button. Is all we have to do left. But I can. This is very successful.
Yeah, I'd say let's get that button. What do you? Did we center it? I already forgot what the drawing looks like.
It's centered and it's pretty.
Oh, yeah, I'd say let's because we just hit the 2-hour mark. I'd say let's get this button matching the submit button. Let's ignore the fact that there's more below, and then I think we get this and call it a day. We can create a branch, like a working branch, commit the code, because I'm impressed.
I'm pretty happy.
I'm very satisfied. Like, how likely are you to recommend this episode to a customer or to a friend?
About 10 out of 10, I'd think. Tell your friends that this is the best episode. Best episode of building a website. All right.
I will say it is the most. I don't want to say the most designy. Yeah, it probably is the most designy episode.
Oh, for sure, absolutely. These are the most design decisions we've made on this website in a long time.
Probably ever.
Because what we do before, we were like, we want new morphism, and we just copy pasted like new morphism stuff. And a lot of that was never on.
Mocked it up either.
Yeah, never mocked it up. This is a first for sure. All right, so we need. We've got this class submission. I need to see if I've messed with it here, or if that's something in the Bootstrap. It's not. Oh, I can mess with it here. Oh yeah. All right. So how do we make? Yeah. So first we're gonna center
margin auto.
Margin auto. Just
so good at centering things.
Yeah.
It's got a border. It's got a color.
It's got a color. So.
And then we should be able just to grab the hex value from the sketch.
But we made it slightly darker, right?
Yeah, it's got a different color.
Oh, no, hold on. I grabbed the...
Oh, that's right. There's a box behind the label. They're grouped together. So on the left, you see how you have plugins selected all the way on the left?
Oh, yeah.
Select objects. There you go. And then there's all the objects. So the rectangle background color. Yeah. Oh, the rectangle fill.
Oh yeah. Rectangle Phil. His name is Phil. Let's do that. Oh, hold on. We must have been working with the wrong hex color for this other stuff. Oh no, that's the same color as the background. But instead we're making... So we just need to make it a little darker. Because this color is the B2 FOE4.
Well, I guess, what do you want? Do you want the new poem pop-up to be lighter?
No. Because if we're looking at it, it's the it's the new morphism. I just gave it a border instead. I want it to be the same color.
Okay.
Because the shadow makes it look like it's popping off, but this I want to be either a complementary color or a slightly darker color, I'd say.
Gotcha. Well, let's find that color.
Yeah, let's find that color. Oh god, localhost refused to connect. Okay. Um, do,
We never finished that color palette.
oh, from Colors.
Because, yeah, we shouldn't be guessing. We should have our
We should have.
palette of colors to choose from.
So then let's snag this and find it on Colors.
I wonder if Colors can do that. I always just use it to, like, random color
Yeah,
schemes.
there was some cool random stuff that came up.
I wonder if there's a way to, like, generate one based off of a base color like this. Like, if you go to generate, will that give us the ability to say, like, make one that works with this color?
Yeah.
Oh, let's do this. All the way on the left,
Yeah.
set that color, and then lock it. You probably just have to change that hex value, the D8F. Yeah.
Yes.
And then there was that lock. And then what, spacebar, I think? Ooh. Okay. Crazy.
Xanthic. That's interesting. I like that black. And I like this.
That is a
actually.
good looking black.
Yeah.
And then
Let's see
purple
what-
and yellow for the...
I don't know about the
accent
purple
colors?
and yellow. They're kind of interesting,
Okay.
but like,
Roll the dice.
yeah, no red. No.
That's a cool palette. Like soft pastels.
Yeah.
You don't have to use it. I'm just
No, I know. I know.
commentary for the people at home.
For the people so they can see. Ooh, that's good. I like that pink. That orchid pink is nice. Copy that.
Yeah, so what we'll
Yeah.
do is
Save that palette.
back in... Well, we don't need to do anything here. Well, unless you want
Saved.
to.
Yeah, no, I made an account and everything.
Oh, dang. Cool.
Yeah, that was.
So what I do is we jump back into Sketch or Lunacy, and on another artboard, we'll just create a bunch of rectangles.
Oh, that's right.
And we'll just
Yeah,
fill
that's
the
what you did.
rectangles. Because then you can just use the dropper tool, like that little eyedropper.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I see. Yep. So you could probably just recreate that Cooler's, what was it, 5 boxes? What are you doing?
I'm making a bunch of rectangles, man.
Well, so you could just make one, and then you can copy and paste it so they're all the same size.
Oh, but I kind of like it like this.
Even better.
I get the feeling you're not a fan of it.
It broke the order in my engineering brain.
Oh, hold on. I just added the text hex in there. Actually, that's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea at all. Because check it out. Bam.
Boom.
Now it's got the hex number in there.
Totally meant to do that.
Yeah, it was on purpose. Raisin Black.
That's a cool color name.
Very cool color name, right?
It's perfectly specific.
Okay. And here. Copy. Into the sketch. Mozzarella in the burger. There was a burger at, there's a fast food joint in Korea called Lotte Burger.
Secret burger.
And that's right. Secret Burger is still up, by the way. It's always been there. If you can find the Secret Burger. But for a while, they were running a promotion for a burger that had like a fried mozzarella, like patty on top.
Ooh.
And it was called Mozzarella in the Burger. That was the name of the burger. But it was in Korean. And so it's all written Mozzarella in the Burger. And that's how you pronounce it. So whenever if you wanted to order it, you had to go Mozzarella in the Burger. And that's how they knew what you wanted. My first attempt at like trying to order food at a Korean fast food place made me feel so crazy because the way you ask for something in Korean is juseyo. And so you say the thing you want, you say juseyo. So if you like beer, juseyo, it's mekju, juseyo. And so they know to give you a beer. But there's a lot of more modern words that Koreans just took their alphabet and like wrote. And cheeseburger is one of them. So the first time I went to order food, I was like, oh, cheeseburger, juseyo. And they were like, huh? And they looked at me like I was crazy. And I was like, and I thought I was mispronouncing juseyo. So I was like, cheeseburger, juseyo. And they were like, and they were like looking around for the person who spoke English. And I was like getting embarrassed because I'm this big white dude holding up the line. And so I looked real quick to find it. I found it on the board. It was in Korean. And I slowly read it in Korean. And I went, Cheeseburger, juseyo, and they went, oh, cheeseburger, and I was like, oh, I feel so racist because like it feels like you're imitating an accent, and you're not supposed to do that. But if you say an English word with a Korean accent, it's way like you'll be understood. It was a big barrier in my brain to get past while I was living over there.
Yeah, that's something I always. I was about to say I always struggle with it, but something I'm always curious about because, like, we do the same thing in English, right? Like, even like the state of Hawaii is in Hawaiian pronounced Hawaii. But it's like, do I like if I'm talking about Hawaii and I say Hawaii, are people gonna understand what I mean? It's colloquial now that it's Hawaii or. There's all sorts of things like that. That of course I'm blanking on all of them.
Oh, every single possible example I could bring up right now.
Tempura,
is tempura pronounced incorrectly?
So in
Japanese, are we being white with it?
It would be tempura or tempura because you have to roll the R. But yeah, we Americanized or anglicized it.
Anglicized? I'd say Americanized.
Because we don't roll R's in English, so it's tempura.
Right.
And we swapped the N for an M. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think if you're in the place, like if you're in the place, like if you're in Korea, you should pronounce it how Koreans pronounce it.
Yep, absolutely.
But then it always gets fun, like, well, what if you're just on a phone call with a friend in Korea?
That's right. What do you do?
I always try to, like, default to theirs.
Always, yeah, that's how I feel, too. Default to the other person's language when you can.
Like, even if we're speaking English, if I'm talking to somebody in Seoul, I'll try to make a best effort. Hopefully they appreciate that. It's not insulting.
Hopefully you've been doing it correctly and you're not terrible.
They're like I know what you're talking about, but why are you pronouncing it like that?
That's right.
That's not how you pronounce it?
Did I not? Am I being racist?
Yeah. It's actually very insulting.
Yeah, I'm quite upset with you right now, actually.
Germany? Deutschland?
Deutschland.
Very different.
I don't know how in the world, like English-speaking countries, they'd be like, all right, so the name of our country is this. And English-speaking countries are like, got it. I'm going to call you Germany.
Right? It's like that jerk friend. They're like, what's your name?
God.
You're like, Brandon. You're like, I'm going to call you Steve. You're like, no, my name's Brandon.
You look like a Steve to me, man. I do not.
That's basically what we did with every country around the world. You look like a Germany.
That's right. I'm going to call you Spain. España.
But it's Deutschland.
Spain. All right, so I do not know how to change the button.
Oh, what were we working on? Wow, I got completely lost in that tangent.
Well, no, it's okay. I've still been working while talking, but like I don't know how to change the button.
I wasn't even paying attention.
So
we want to change what, the button color?
Yeah, the button color. And
does
buttons
it just have
are kind of
background color.
So this for like here. default button, right here, link button, input button. So like, it looks like,
Like right there, that background color hex is probably the green, right?
But
Tin.
notice they're doing it in HTML with like, and here's the button.
Well, that
You know what I
button
mean?
doesn't have a CSS class.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next one does. And that CSS class has a background color.
I'm gonna show you what I did while you were talking about Deutschland.
Oh, you've already done this?
Because I tried this already.
Okay.
We're gonna see it again, folks. No, yeah, it just makes the whole background like bar pink. It makes the div pink.
Center it. Give it a margin auto.
We already did that.
Man,
See?
where was I?
I think my problem might be, so obviously we are in the correct
gonna let you do the
CSS. But yeah, so section class submission. I think the problem is that we're talking like input type.
Oh, it's an input type, not a button.
Yeah. So let's adjust what we're looking for there.
So the CSS should be, instead of dot button, it should be...
Input type?
Yeah.
Input ID, show button. If the HTML element is input type button, input type submit, etc., change it using this code. Document query, so show button. What?
Oh, yeah, we're not trying to change buttons using JavaScript.
We're not trying to change it. We're just trying to make it look different.
Yeah, I think if, instead of dot button, if it's input type equals submit. Because there's probably something weird that ASP.NET's doing where it is a button, but they add another layer to it.
Right. So input type equals... I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Hold on. What's it up here?
Yeah,
Input.
let's say there's a bracket. Nice. It's always nice when the IntelliSense comes back.
Yeah.
You're like, I did it right.
I did it, baby.
Or did something right.
IntelliSense recognizes this. Oh god. Wait, hold
It
on.
changed all your buttons.
It changed all my buttons, but good. Not
Okay.
a bad situation because I kind of like that pops out a little. Okay. I do need to now create two different classes for these buttons though, so I can work with them. All right, let's check what
with
class
me.
we have them under. So in add poet class submission. Oh, check it out. I know what to do. Observe. You can pick multiple identifying elements, and it'll only change the ones that are true for all of those. Oh, I'm a liar. That's not what happened. Oh, Lord. Interesting. Oh, never mind. I know what I'm doing. Everyone can take it easy.
And I'll continue talking about Deutschland.
Deutschland. Were you ever on Team Germany for Beer Olympics? No.
No. I wasn't ever that cool.
Did you do America?
I was part of Beer Olympics twice. We did team... shoot. So my first team was right around the time the Hangover movies were coming out.
Yes.
And Hangover 2 was set in Bangkok. So we were Team Thailand.
Okay,
And we
that's
just
right.
dressed up like the Hangover guys.
Yep.
Or the guys from the movie Hangover.
Yep.
And then, the next year was Scotland, so we wore kilts.
That's right. That was you and Sasan. Was it Eric?
Yep.
I know
And-
Eric was there, yeah.
Yeah, my buddy Cody from college.
Yes. Good times. Can't do that anymore. Like, 'cause it will kill me. So I'm a little, I'm getting myself confused, but I don't mind changing. We need to figure out how to change just the one button. Should be just dot submission now, and let's see if I can make it do something weird. How about let's just see what we got. Oh, yeah, the glyph orientation horizontal. Who came up with all of this?
I don't know. Probably the same guy that needed 3 margins.
You gotta have 3.
3 inputs per margin.
All right.
'Cause he
If
didn't
this
want to
doesn't
write
work, I
top
think
and
I might
bottom.
just save what I got for now. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. All right, I think I should just save what I got. We're running on 2.5 hours now. I'm gonna save this, and we'll keep working on it next time.
Sounds good, man.
That's what I think.
This looks so much better.
I am stoked. Like, that's a massive, massive improvement.
Make sure you save the changes in your sketch file.
Yes.
I just don't know how all that works. Like, if there's like a save all button. Oh yeah, there's a little blue dot there.
It's gonna be.
Oh wait, this shouldn't be a new sketch file. Let's cancel this. I didn't realize that's what was happening.
It should be
just cut and paste. So cut the artboard and paste it into the other one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it. That's smart.
And then you can arrange your artboards however you want.
Like this.
Why are you making that bigger?
For fun.
Oh, okay. I see what you're going for now.
This is the fun stuff.
Very avant-garde.
Oh yeah, I'm all about the feeling, whatever that means. All right, that's saved. Yeah.
No, we
I
don't need
saved
to.
them.
No.
Oh.
That's the other one.
No,
That's the
I
other.
don't want to say that. Don't say.
Yeah.
We're good. All right, GitHub.
Right on. Yeah, so just
Add poet
make a new
page
branch and-
sketch. Yeah. New branch, and this is going to be called updating UI for add poet page. Create branch and bring my changes.
definitely.
Gonna want to do that. And we took it out and then we put it back and we changed the titles of everything, so that's good. CSS is, man, we really only worked with a little bit of CSS today, huh? Interesting.
We were in CSS a lot.
That's true.
I guess the result was a couple of lines of code.
Yep.
That's okay.
New look for the add poet page. Cool.
New year, new look.
New year, new me. Publish that branch. GitHub, come on.
Cool, man. I can't wait till we get this published.
Yeah. All right, we're good, right?
That's it.
I don't need to create the pull request because it's there. All right, hey guys, we made it. Looks like we made it. Thank you for chilling with us on this Sunday morning. Thank you, Brandon, as always, for coming through and learning some CSS with me. Learning
Maybe I'll set
something
an alarm
new.
next week. Who knows?
We'll see. Who knows? It's all loosey-goosey. Anyway, thanks for coming, folks. We'll see you around.